In space, no one can hear you scream. With Prometheus right around the corner, i.e. next week, i.e. a week from today, I decided it was going to be a fun and good idea to go through and rewatch every one of the Alien movies. Because, you know, it's what I do, and I'm nerdy like that. Obviously, we have to start things off with the first, you know, the original, where nobody can hear you scream in space, hence the opening. Shh. I'm Jason, and you're watching Attack the Nerd. Whatcha! Yes, a classic film that at its time was one of the scariest films ever. It was also loaded with some of the most unbelievable special effects that people had ever seen, including but not limited to the alien itself. In case you've been living under a rock all your life and have no idea what the Alien movies are, or you're just ridiculously young and have no idea what the Alien movies are, the first Alien movie is a classic, and it absolutely set the standard for monster movies of its time. It was a horror, sci-fi, supernatural, thriller-esque movie that was unlike anything that anybody had ever seen. It was released in 1979 and directed by Ridley Scott, and follows the crew of the Nostradamo, I'm just not even going to try to pronounce it. It follows them, and they are this kind of freight mining carrier that's on their way back to Earth. Well, on their way back to Earth, they get woken up from mid-sleep, saying that their ship received a distress signal and has now gone off course. Due to their regulations and all this other stuff, they must go and investigate the distress signal. Let the insanity begin. First off, the beginning of this movie, the first like 20 minutes or so, is very, very slow. The first 10 minutes even is a lot of just various angles of the ship, because you will get to know this ship very well throughout the film. It's almost as if the ship is a character on itself, because you see all these various aspects of it and all these various places in the ship that you really do get to know a lot better, because the crew spends a lot of time there, you know, discussing things or eating in their crew quarters, stuff like that. So the ship itself is almost a character. Then you finally see the various crew waking up slowly, groggily. They've been in hypersleep for God knows however many months, because space is huge and that's just what you do. But you kind of see the crew interact with each other and eating and having a great time, and you can see that they're all really good friends, but there's a little bit of tension here and there between like the mechanics, because they want some more money and stuff like that. So you just kind of start building onto these characters and creating a character for each one. They're definitely not one-dimensional. You see a little bit aspects of each one, which is really, really cool. The tension in this movie, I believe, is one of the biggest things that makes it as big as it is. I mean, even to today's standards, the tension built in this film is absolutely remarkable. You're left sitting there on the edge of your seat, like just wondering, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What are they gonna see? What are they gonna find? Throughout the entire film, it never lets up. It's very, very incredible how well Ridley Scott brought this feeling to the film. On top of that, this film did some things that even today are a little bit crazy. For example, when you see the little alien rip out of the guy's belly for the first time, and kind of the only time in this film, it's really brutal and really bloody, and you're just sitting there even today and you're like, oh, I don't want that in. The fact that on the Blu-ray the sound is enhanced, you like literally hear the alien like rip through the rib cage, and you just hear the bones cracking in the, oh god, it was brutal. And this is coming from, you know, a hardcore blood and gore fan. It was brutal. After that, tons of things start ensuing, and you really start to get connected to these characters, and when they start dying off, you're like, oh no, did you have really him? That sucks. Not to mention the special effects in this movie are just awesome. They were great for its time, they're great today, and it makes me really miss the times when CG wasn't relied so heavily on and everything was done practically. Like the Alien, for example, it's just a guy in a suit, but all of the like saliva and everything that was put into making this alien so realistic just was incredible. The scene with the android is just awesome. Today, that would be computer animated. But then, that's exactly what an android would have been. And I miss when Hollywood used to do that and used to take time on that. Overall, Alien as a movie is very well done. It creates a lot of tension. It develops characters very well and really sets up the rest of this franchise absolutely fantastically. Yes, it can get a bit boring in some parts, and some people may complain about that, but I personally love it because it really built tension and really set up that atmosphere of Alien. I'm giving Alien 9 nerd stars out of 10. The only reason why I'm not giving it a perfect 10 is because here and there you got some cheesy acting, which I thought could have been improved on. But I love the story, I love the characters, I loved the effects, I loved everything, and it was fantastic. Anyways, this has been Jason with Attack the Nerd reviewing Alien. Check back tomorrow for my review of Aliens, and the day after that for Alien 3, and then the day after that for Alien Resurrection, and then next week for Prometheus. Yeah, there's a lot of Alien going on, that's just how it goes. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and be careful, you never know when you're going to get attacked next. That was cheesy, because there's really only a few places. Just get out of here.